Stay in your life book. Before I start, let's explain really quickly, just in case someone has not heard all the videos, what a life book is. I'm going to be fast. Before we come to Earth, before we decide to come to Earth, we write a book or a contract or a blueprint. Most people call it the life book. And in there, we put what obstacles we would like to overcome and what it is we would like to experience. Many of us make the mistake of going into someone else's book because we like them and we want them to want us, or we want them to need us, or we get involved in their business. And then when this happens, we come out of our own book, because you cannot be in two books at the same time. So I'm only going to describe a couple of stories so we can get an idea of how we come out of our book so easily. Now, it might sound a little judgmental, but I am not being judgmental in this particular audio at all. I simply want to give a couple of stories of how things work. A friend that does the same work as I do, we call each other often. She called me this morning to tell me about a friend of hers that I knew about. I have not met him, but I knew about the guy. They are both Italian, my friend and he, and they both visit Australia for these psychic fairs every now and again. This particular guy sells things in the psychic fair. I don't want to mention exactly what he sells. And he was telling her that sales in Italy lately have not been very good. So next month he's leaving, or in 2 weeks, I forgot when, he's leaving for Australia again, and hopefully he will do better then at the psychic fair in Australia. And then my friend mentioned he's got a girlfriend now, and as soon as she said the word girlfriend, I saw that she is the reason his business is going down at the moment. I did not say anything. I was waiting for my friend to finish. And she finished it like this. He was complaining that he did not make enough money. He has not been making money for a few months. They are going to Australia, and the tickets, he paid for both tickets, cost 4,000 euros each. So it's 8,000 euros for both tickets. She flies to Australia every year. And she says, why 4,000 euros for each ticket? And he says, well, I have to go first class. Now, the moral of the story. He either wants to impress his girlfriend, or she might be beautiful and he's trying to keep her. So he has come out of his book and he has gone into hers. And this is why his business is not doing so well. It's not out of punishment that you've left the book, I'll show you, the business will go down. The universe never works like this. It's simply his business is in his book, not in hers. Also, what might be in her book is, let me see what I would do without having a lot of money. So then by him going into her book, because he is trying to keep her, hold on to her, or impress her, he also stops making a lot of money. Be very careful not to go into your lover's book because you would like to impress them or to keep them. many times I have had clients, couples, not at the same time, but they were talking. What I mean is, I did not have the couple together. I never do. But one person was saying, my business isn't going well, and the higher self was explaining this, that you put your husband's or your wife's, that you went into your husband's or your wife's life book by trying to make everything one, same bank account, same this and same that. The business is yours. It is not your husband's or your wife's. And at that moment, they understand it, but they feel like, oh my God, now what do I do? It will be so difficult to change it because it will affect the relationship. And the soul replies with, the relationship is going to break up anyway if you continue this way, because you will become broke. And this always affects a relationship. So it is really, really difficult. There is one couple I know, because I give sessions every now and again to both parties. He comes from a well-known family, a well-known business that he is in only because it is the family business. It's not what he really wants to do. She is very successful at her business. However, she has the notion that the man should be more successful than the woman. So she subconsciously sabotages her business so that he can make more money than her. Because she has this notion of a 50s couple with the white picket fence around the house, where the man brings home the bacon. It's an American saying, sorry. Where the man brings home the bread. And the woman is a nice, smiling wife. I don't know why she wants to play this role. It must be past life memory, because she's quite intelligent. And I think she was raised to be intelligent because all 4 siblings have their own business. And yet, even though she was shown this in sessions more than once, she still continues to do this, continues to try to make her husband more successful, because he should be the successful one and not her. And she has almost destroyed her business. So again, be careful. Be very careful. Just because you like having sex with somebody does not mean, well, it doesn't mean a lot of things. Just think. Another almost humorous client I had last year, I remember, he asks me, should I go to this country where my girlfriend is? I really want to, but she's telling me, don't come now because my mother is sick. I'm not mentioning countries in case these people listen. I don't want to get sued. And I said, okay, that's not really my business, but let's ask your soul. I was bored. It's like, give me a real problem, will you please? I feel like I'm dealing with a 16-year-old. So he lies down, we call his soul to ask if he should go, even though his girlfriend says, don't come now, my mother is sick and I'm busy with my mother. In this story, I want to show how easy it is to go into denial. Now, the soul wasn't really coming. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't really there. The soul was not interested. So it was so difficult for me to ask the questions, because usually the soul tells me what to ask. The soul tells me what to get him or her to ask. And I wasn't getting any good questions to ask, so he could ask his soul, so he could see, so he could get the answers. And then I say to him, is this really your girlfriend? Or is it simply someone you had sex with? He gets a little upset. I could see it on his facial muscles. I cannot see his eyes because they're closed and covered. And I see on his facial muscles that he gets upset, and he replies quickly, no, she's my girlfriend. We had 21 beautiful days together in another country. I don't want to mention the country. Nice tropical country. 21 beautiful days. At that moment, I saw a resort, a famous resort that does not only exist on that particular in that particular country, it's a chain. And I said, did you spend time in this and this resort? Yes, 2 weeks. And then I saw the figure 19,000 euros. And I said, and you paid for it, right? He didn't reply for a couple of seconds and says, yes. 19,000 euros, right? Yes. What had happened was, he paid 19,000 euros for 2 weeks, had a lovely time with a beautiful woman. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, but as soon as the money ran out, he probably told her, and suddenly her mother got sick, and she had to go back to her country. And they have not met since then. It had been almost 2 months. He keeps calling her, and she keeps saying, not now, not yet, yada, yada, yada. And he came back to his country, where I was giving the sessions, so he can make more money and probably go and do the same again. And he calls this love. And he wanted to find out if they were soulmates. And this was not a 16-year-old boy. So, again, this is how we come out of our life book and we go into someone else's. Do not judge. In this case, do not judge yourself if you've done it or if you are doing it at the moment. Simply understand it so that you can stay in your book. See this image? Get a good glass of wine. A nice glass of wine or coffee, whatever it is you drink, or tea. Get a good book and stay in your book. Enrich your book. Come out of the other people's books. Enrich yours. Make yours even bigger, even richer. And observe the other person. You can say to them, if you need something, let me know. I might be able to help you. But you would have to ask me, because I do not want to take away your lessons. The other person will understand. They always understand this because something inside of them rings true when you say to them, look, I don't want to take away your lessons, so whatever you might need, ask me and I'll see if I can do it or not do it. If I cannot do it, do not get upset. Don't take it personally. See, everybody talks about communicate with your lover, communicate with your partner, your husband, your wife. It's all bullshit. What kind of communication do you do when you do not say the truth? And when you do not do things because the partner will get upset or take it personally? That's not communication. That's faking it. So if you're going to be all deep and meaningful and talk about communication, say the truth. Say, listen, do not get upset when I say no. This is communication with an intelligent person. Of course, this is an oxymoron because what's an intelligent person doing being married? But anyway, I had to throw in my bitchiness for today. Leave that. Now, for people with adult children, especially from southern cultures, Mediterranean and further down, further south, stop trying to take care of your adult children, because you come out of your book and you go into their book. And then your life doesn't go well, or your finances do not go well. You are responsible for your children. Your children are in your book until somewhere between the ages of 15 and 16. Somewhere between that age, they start slowly coming out of your book and they start entering their life book. After this, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you care, it's a waste. They are in their life book and they will experience what their soul wanted them to experience before they even came to earth. So you will have to say the same thing that you could say to a spouse, a husband or a wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend. I want you to know I will always be here for you. However, because I do not want to take away your lessons, you would have to ask me for everything, not just one thing and then expect me to know what else you need. Ask me for everything, and I will see how much of this I can assist you with. The child will understand you, even though it is your child. Hey, 2 bitchy things for today, and counting. Okay, the child will understand you. Stop taking care of your adult children and stop worrying about whether they have a good job, whether they have a good house, whether their marriage is successful, whether. Stop worrying about it. It has nothing to do with you. They are individual souls here for individual lessons. This is one word most people do not like: individuality. On earth, and especially in the next dimension we are going into, we are experiencing individuality. The reason you don't like this word is because you need someone to need you. So you use the word family. We are family. We care for each other. Get a gun, honey, and put it to your head and pull the trigger. Okay, because you're nothing but a big liar and a massive hypocrite. You do not care about your children at all. You simply need them to need you. This is all it is, plain and simple. Now, stay in your book. Again, stay in your life book. You have come here for you and you alone. And if you think you care about people, I'll repeat it for the 3rd time. Whatever it is you need, let me know. Another super intelligent phrase is coming to mind. Many people with an IQ below room temperature will say phrases like, "If you loved me, you should know what I need." If you hear something like this, start running as far away as possible. Whether it is your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, son or daughter, mother or father. Start running. This is a person that can only bring you down out of sheer stupidity. So, stay in your life book. I will leave it at this.